right, so here we are. I am for the first time this year going to attempt to do a actual power rankings. Now the first 3 weeks, I've just been, group them together, good teams, bad teams, meh teams, worst team in the league and whatnot. And as you can see, I already have number 8 up there. I think I have a good enough clue right now where I think I know where the top teams are. I think I know where the bottom teams are. I have the standings. I took a picture of the standings on my phone, so I don't have to keep going back and forth and cutting it up, and so forgetting the stands. So I have the standings for all the teams here, and obviously, I don't need to know the Guardians because the Guardians are 0-4. Like I don't need to really know that because it's just they're bad. They're really bad. So I don't know what to really say about them. I was really hoping that the coach that came out and kind of bashed on the players would really light a fire underneath the players, but it didn't really. So I think they're going to have the number 1 overall pick next year in the draft at 4-0. Then, number 7, we have the Vipers. Also, 4-0. I'm sorry, 0-4. Also 0-4. Excuse me. We're leaving that in. I'm going to leave that in. Vipers feel like they put up a little bit more of a fight than the Guardians to me. I think that they could steal a game from someone. But right now they're worst team in their division at, second worst team overall in my opinion. And yeah. So, next we have where is he? Oops. Wait, hang on. No. There it is. Okay. There we go. We have the Brahmas. Brahmas are 1-3. They are they're 0-1 at home. Okay. Wow. Okay. Anyway, Brahmas are a team that they feel like they're like 2 or 3 pieces away from contending with the top tier teams. They don't feel Guardians bad to me, but they're not as good as the top 3 teams in the league, which will be coming up. But they feel just like if they can just flip a switch, if just a couple players just really show up, I feel like they can be a lot better. I don't have a lot to say about them. It's just they're a weird team where they're like right in the middle of the pack, or the lower part of the middle of the pack, and they feel like they could be higher. That their ceiling feels way higher than how they're performing right now. So then we have the Seattle Sea Dragons, who are, let me just double check. Yeah, 2-2. 2-2. So 500 right now. I think there is another 2-2 team. They, to me, recently in the past 2 weeks, I didn't clip it. They show a win streak, and I believe they're on a 2-game win streak right now. I think they started 0-2 and now they're 2-2. They feel like a team to me that's starting to click. They're starting to get in the rhythm. They're really starting to look like a decent team. Now, we'll see how they can contend, the rest of the season here. I have them at 5, just because I still believe in the Renegades defense, okay? I still believe in the defense. They're also 2-2. I believe that they can be decent. I believe if their defense shows up, they can, I want to believe. I just want to believe that they can do it. So these two, right in the middle of the pack. Again, Seattle's kind of on the upward. Renegades, they're 2-0. I cut off the win streak taking the pictures. 2-0 at home. Okay, so they play better at home than they do on the road too. So, coming down the stretch, tiebreaker game, or they have a chance to get into the playoffs. They better hope they're at home because they play a lot better at home than they do on the road. So at least right now, that could change and they could start win 3 straight on the road and lose 2 at home or something like that. You never know. So coming in at number 3, we have the Battlehawks, my team, my XFL team. They lost to DC last week, who is still down here. Bounce back win. Who is it? I think it was the Renegades. Was it the Renegades? Yes, I believe they played the Renegades last week. There was some. I believe it was the Renegades. I'm blanking. I watched the whole game yesterday. I believe it should have been the Renegades. I believe. Point is, a little bit sloppy, a little slow start, which is why I think, again, the Renegades, I think that their defense, again, that offense is just what, they got to wake up. But top 3 teams are a tier above everyone else, and then, 6 to 4 are a tier or 2 above 7 and 8. So, these are the, better teams here. I think, again, Battlehawks are looking pretty good. They are 2-1 on the road. First home game was week 4 here, which is crazy to think about. Because I don't know if any NFL team goes 3 weeks in a row on the road and then having a home game. I think it's usually I think it's a max of 3 weeks. By week 3 is what I mean, is when an NFL team gets to play a home game. So it's kind of interesting. They have another home game next week, so now it's kind of a stretch of away games, and then have a little bit of stretch of home games, and then you're gonna have to bounce back and forth, for the rest of the season. So I think. I think that they can be a good team. They can be a top contending team. I mean, they played DC pretty well. They did play them pretty well, but just not enough, not good enough to get them over the hump, to beat them, to stay undefeated. But that's why I'm gonna put them both up here. DC's at 2, Roughnecks at 1. Both 4-0, both undefeated right now. The Roughnecks have, in my opinion, the number 1 offense in the league. They are shredding. They just put up, I think it was 44. It was against, I believe, the Vipers. So yes, I expected a killing. But they're scoring on average. It's like 30 points a game average, or 31 or something like that. Like they were held to 28 by. Was it Brahmas the week before? That's their lowest points scored in a game so far. But their offense is just shredding every defense. They're just looking really good. And that's why I can't put the DC Defenders above them. Because, yes, I think DC looks good. I think overall, offense, defense-wise, I think they're an overall good team. And I can see them making a run. But I with how Houston and that offense are just rolling, and then the defense doesn't allow, a lot of points. I think they've never allowed over 20 points this year. So, you have a defense that's just on the sidelines. Well, the offense just goes down and scores, takes time off the clock. Defense, pretty fresh, able to get out there, stop them, 3 and out or whatever. Put the offense back out there, get them to work, slow, methodical drives and whatnot. Not always, but that's fresh defense. You're controlling the whole game with your offense, your running game. Passes, whatever you're doing. So I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop this offense, but I want to see them take on the Defenders. I want to see them take on the Battlehawks. Even to an extent, the Renegades, but I don't trust the Renegades offense at all. So I want to see these top 3 teams play each other. I don't think, DC just played the Battlehawks, but I don't think the Roughnecks have not played either 2 or 3 on my list. So I want to see how these, number 2 defense, number 3 defense stack up against that Houston offense. And not like number 2 as in on my power rankings here, not as the number 2 defense, because I don't know who number 2 and number 3 would be. I'd have to really sit down and think about it. This is just, again, this is overall team. So, yeah, that's my list. Again, Roughnecks at 1, Defenders at 2, Battlehawks at 3, Renegades 4, Sea Dragons 5, Brahmas 6, Vipers 7, and then Guardians at 8. I am sorry if you are a Guardians fan. We'll put on a suit and tie, and we'll put them to rest here in probably week 8. probably maybe like week 7. Like it might be sooner than week 8. So I'll come on with a tie and a suit, and we'll go ahead and we'll put them to rest for the year. Whenever they get eliminated here late in the year, we'll probably do the same with the Vipers. But the rest of them, we don't really need to do a fear because at least they have wins. They've at least got a win so far, and I think the Vipers can get a win, maybe 2, sneak one away. But yeah, it's just Guardians are just terrible. They're really bad. So. Yeah, let me know. Is Houston not your number 1? Do you like DC better? Do you like a different team better than Houston? Which I don't think. I think it's really going to be between DC and Houston. I would love to make the argument for the Battlehawks, but the way they played DC, yeah, it was a tight game. I think there was 5 turnovers the first half. But the second half, DC just kind of ran away with it, and Battlehawks just couldn't control the game anymore. So yes, let me know again. Who's your top team? If you want to do all 8, there's only 8 teams. So if you want to rank all 8 in the comments below, go ahead and do that. For now, though, like the video, share the video, and don't subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.